Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. I reviewed a mini PC Intel NUC type device just before New Year actually, and somebody commented to say that they liked this brand, GMKTec. So I got one of these from AliExpress. This was actually a bit cheaper and there were two different specifications available, so I'll just show you this on AliExpress and then we'll have a look at it and let's see how it compares. Is it good? Is it better? Because at least one of you was swearing by these lot of computers. Okay, so the first thing we will do is have a look in the box, see exactly what we have, and then look at the specifications on AliExpress. So we can see GMKTec G3 mini PC, Alder Lake N100, Windows 11 Pro mini PC. Okay, 816 gig DDR4 and 256 512 gig PCIe M2. Okay, so that's what is in here. Wi-Fi, yeah, Bluetooth. Okay, so let's see what we have. And here it is, kind of like a carbon fiber type effect top. Yeah, it's a bit chunkier than the other one I had here. This has two USBs on the back, whereas the other one had four. But this also has two HDMI, whereas the other one had one HDMI and one DV connector. Okay, headphone, power, and two USBs on the front. So similar but not the same. The other one I had, the first thing I will say, it had 6 USBs. Okay, so this is the GMKTec NUC G3. I'm just having a quick look at the user manual. It's a multi-language one. Just out of interest, that's the first time I've come across this really. How to get into the BIOS, press the power button and click escape, I assume on the keyboard. Yeah, and how to enter the boot settings screen, press the power button, click F7. Okay, interesting. We also have HDMI cable, a bracket to mount this onto a monitor. It's not like a full VESA mount thing like the other one had, but similar. Power supply. I have to say this feels a bit cheap and tacky compared with the other one, but yeah, that's what it is. Let's check the price of this before we power it up. So in fact it's this one. We have two options. So the first option is 114 euros. That's a really good price actually. That's 8 gig of RAM, 256 gig of, it says ROM, but I think it really means the SSD. Yeah, and we have the 16 gig version, 165, and that price includes VAT. We don't have the VAT here, so the lower spec model we can knock 21% off that. That comes down under 100 euros. That is not bad at all. And this one, I guess, if you're not in an area paying the VAT, is about 133 roughly. Let's see how easy this is to use out of the box. So I've connected the keyboard and mouse. We'll switch it on. Little flash on there. Press the button. Yeah. Practically silent. And it's booting up. So this clearly comes with Windows 11 pre-installed. I'll set the operating system up and then we can have a look around this. I've downloaded Crystal Disk Mark, run the benchmark test so you can see the results there. According to the device manager, this is a 4C 512GB SSD. So that's the model. I'm going to download and install Specky as well and run that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more information about this. I can see the N100 quad-core processor there. And this will be the 16 gig of RAM version, okay? And we're running Specky. So we can see we have Windows 11 Pro, 64-bit. The processor we knew, We can see the processor temperature there. 16 gig single channel DDR4. Intel Ultra HD graphics. And saying unknown SSD, okay, 476 gigabyte 4C, 512 gigabyte SSD, unknown. So it doesn't really give us any much information there about that. I will say this machine's to be quite nippy actually. It's quite responsive the way it's running. I'm quite impressed with that, to be honest, for such a small machine. Let's have a look inside it and see what the build quality is like. Looking at the PC itself, this is quite light. It's not very heavy. Size of this is about 4.5 centimeters, 11.5, and just under 11. So that's the dimensions of it. To open it up, I think this is fairly simple. We just take the top off it. It looks like it just clips on here, in actual fact. Yeah, just clips, okay. So we can take a look inside the machine. Here is the 4C hard drive. Okay, we have a model number now on that one. And the 16 gigabyte DDR4 SODIMM or SODIMM, yeah. Small outline DIMM. So this is basically laptop components. That's what I would expect to find inside here. If I just turn it upside down, we can see the fan is in the base. So we have some little rubber feet on here. This is clearly the VESA mount for attaching this onto the back of a monitor, for example. And the fan is blowing downwards or sideways from the bottom, depending how you mount this. The overall build quality looks good to me, actually. Quite nicely put together, that. And certainly for the price, I think this is rather well specified. Let's try something interesting. Let's try some retro gaming with this. To do this, of course, I need to boot the machine back up again. Let's see how fast this actually loads Windows from scratch. That's usually a pretty good indication of the performance and usability of a PC. So, power on, and I hit the start button. Let's see how long it takes. Okay, just BIOS and then we're loading Windows. Oh, wow, that was fast. Yeah, that was fast. I previously had Windows running, but I told it to shut down. I didn't tell it to go into sleep. I said shut down. So it looks like it's actually buffered some information. That was really nippy. Yeah. And here we are in Exodus. I have a few games set up already, and of course the classic Tomb Raider, the first one, okay? This was my favourite game of the 90s, without a doubt. Let's try it. So we have some options here. Press 3 for Tomb Raider with 3DFX. I think we'll go with that one. Okay. And we're running. I don't have any speakers attached to this machine at the moment, by the way, and I don't want to run into any problems with copyright on the sound either, so we'll have it silent. Okay. This is a real blast from the past. And I think we can actually just skip the cinematics. And this was cinematic in the 90s, okay? And get into the game. So we'll go game. New game. There is Laura and all her pixelated glory. Okay, anybody remember this one? Laura seems to have put a little bit of weight on. Maybe that's something to do with widescreen. 16:9. Oh, the arrows. I forgot about the arrows. Hey. and we run straight into a wall. Oh, she's saying I should run up there, but I think somewhere over here is a secret. Okay, so let's see if we can get onto here. Okay, backflip, jump forwards, grab. You see I've played this quite a lot, yeah. And here we have some secret, some health. This is certainly running quite nicely, actually. There may be a little bit of tearing. I have this connected to my capture card. It's probably the capture card that's doing it. If it is, looks fine on my screen. Oh, well, there's some bats down here. Yes. Well, there were. Okay. So, yeah, guys, this is running really, really nicely. Of course, this is not the proper way to play retro games. Yeah, those of you who say you need to play them on the old hardware, I get that too. Yeah, okay, but you know, for a little bit of fun, this is really rather nice. I think there's a switch somewhere down here. Yeah. Well, guys, you've seen it. Yeah. Let's chat about it. All in all, this is a very responsive little machine. It feels nippy. It was quite nippy. Loading Windows was very fast. You saw that running the old Tomb Raider game in Exodus, and it did it very well. Having run the game, it's a little bit warm, but it's not hot. Yeah, certainly not hot. No hotter than, for example, just a laptop might feel after you've been using it for a while. The connectivity is pretty good on this, and it feels like a nice quality device. I like this carbon fibre type effect on the top of this. I think it makes an attractive thing. The power supply feels a little bit cheap, but hey, this was a cheap machine. I mean, the prices were very, very good. So you've seen me running on the 16 gig 512 gig version. And I have to give this a big thumbs up. If you're looking for a little computer like this for your workbench, these things are ideal. I mean, they draw very little power. On full load, this draws 30 watts. In fact, the power supply is rated at 36 watts. 12 volts, 3 amps. Yeah, so it draws about 31 amps. It's not stressing, that little power supply. In idle, it draws about 9 watts, so it really isn't a lot. I'd happily use this for all the things I do on the workbench, connecting the thermal camera. I have Windows apps for that, connecting EEPROM programmers, browsing schematics, browsing the net, and all the things I generally need to do while I'm fixing things. And if you're not fixing things, I mean, as a nice little office machine, this is ideal. It's going to save you a lot of money in electricity compared to a normal desktop. It kind of like, in a way, fills a gap between a laptop and a desktop machine. Sure, this is not a high-end gaming machine. You can't put your top-end GPU in there, but it's not supposed to be. It's not meant to be that. And for the price, you really can't go wrong with this. It's a bargain. Yeah, I understand why people like these machines and why I had comments from people asking me about these machines. I did say I would review one. So there you go. GMKTec G3. What's not to like, guys? Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now.